Broadcasting since 1994, you are listening to KPSU, Portland's college radio, streaming worldwide 24/7 at kpsu.org. Thank you for tuning in to Live Fridays. You can listen to us on your mobile devices by downloading the KPSU app from your Google Play Store or the TuneIn app for Androids. Thank you to PSU TV for filming this production. You can watch the show live on their YouTube channel, PSUT Television. Thank you to Portland State Professional for the sound equipment. And now, enough of me, on to your DJ, Rachelle.
Thank you for tuning in to KPSU's Live Fridays, sponsored in part by Sesame Donuts, who today, their special is the Pokemon Donut. Woo! Thank you to the crew for not eating all of the Pokemon Donuts. I'm glad there's one left. Today in the studio, we have Salo Panto ready to play for us. Can you tell me what the first song is?
First song's called Iron Mike.
You want to tell me a little bit about
It's
it?
about a very resilient cat. He's been through a lot, and his days aren't over, but you know, he's got stories for days if he could tell them.
All right, let's hear it.
And I'm sure he'd love to. All right.
As you all know, you just can't believe everything you see here. As you all know, you just, 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 as you all know, as you all know, you just can't believe everything you see here. As you all know, as you all know, you just.
shouldn't know. I shouldn't know. Tell everything you want. Don't have to do a thing too sharp. No excited to find it all. Where exactly do you get on?
You can't hear the noise unless you seize the crime solid.
I'm gonna say this is trash when we're done. It is getting too much.
Too much of you?
Yeah, too much of me. But thank you. Thanks for letting me use that. Say goodbye.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So before we get too far, everyone want to do a quick round robin, introduce yourself and what you're playing? Let's start with you.
My name's,
Just speak into the mic there.
Use the microphone. My name is Edwin Beach, and I am playing the Roland SP404 sampler and the tambourine today.
Thank you, Tambourine Man.
Right on.
My name is Jeff Retman, and I'm playing the drums. This is my first gig with these guys.
Way to throw you into the deep end.
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm Joe. I'm playing electric guitar and singing, and yeah.
And I'm Max Doyle. I'm playing bass.
And thank you. Thanks for getting us all moving and grooving today.
We hope. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks.
Happy to do it.
Well, before we get too far, you should first of all tell people if they like what they hear, if there's a gig they can come see you play live.
There is a gig you can come see us. It's March 3rd at Dante's on West Burnside. It's our new EP release show, our new EP 2020 somethings. Come and celebrate its release with us.
Yeah,
March 3rd.
We're playing with the English Language and Black Fruit, both local bands that are so awesome and cool enough to play with us. So it's gonna be a great show, regardless of us playing or not.
Yeah,
So
we're pretty excited.
yeah, great. And then Dante's is awesome too. It's a really cool place to play.
So if they don't get to see you play at Dante's, where's the best place to go find out about upcoming gigs?
Well, we're all over the Instagrams and Facebooks and band camps, and we're doing a tour of the West Coast at the end of March, and May we have something at Turn, but we'll be doing like Eugene and Portland, and then a lot of other places in the West Coast end of March. So that's kind of like next on our docket, and then we'll come back and surely do something in April and May 24th at Turn we're doing, and just online on the Instagram. Instagram is way better than Facebook for some things, and I think bands and word of mouth and that kind of thing, or word of hand, kind of turned into. But yeah, the internet's
Right on.
The internets, the interwebs.
Your latest album, where can we find it?
It'll be on any streaming service March 3rd. All streaming services though, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play is a thing. That's like the forgotten one. But it's we're on there, and it'll be streaming for free on all of those. But we'll have it on Bandcamp too, and perhaps SoundCloud. I'm always getting new mixed signals from the SoundCloud camp. They're always like, I don't know if they're crashing or what. They're great. I hope it can work out, SoundCloud.
Yeah, I know a lot of people.
We're trying. It's not us. It's us.
Yeah, no, SoundCloud is one of those that I think a lot of people use at work because they know they can't download iTunes on their computer.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So it's popular. Maybe people are crashing it, using it too much.
Sure,
Could be.
There you
But
go.
yeah, we're on the standards, the Spotify's and Apple Music's.
Right on. All right, well, let's hear some more of this music. What do you want to play next?
The next song we're playing is called Window Bricks, and it's about kind of sticking it to unjust news publications. I don't know more on that later, but there's a newspaper in my hometown that will go unnamed that would kind of smear the reputation of good people in order to prove a greater point. You know, kind of whereas a normal publication may use statistics or other, you know, useful topics to protect.
This was a true muckraker.
Yeah.
To protect the names of.
Then we're against it.
It was just it was.
All right.
I never took bricks to their windows, but I was saying if anyone were to ever do that, I know a lot of people that wouldn't really care that much.
Some good windows.
Yeah, some great windows there.
All right.
Throw bricks through.
Let's hear.
We're all for nonviolence, but
All right, metaphorically speaking.
metaphorical windows. And bricks.
Metaphorical.
All right. Let's.
On that note, here's this ballad. No,
News is what somebody somewhere wants to suppress. News is what somebody somewhere wants to suppress. News is what is advertising.
next one's a new song.
Woo. Catch your breath now.
Yeah. With coffee. Sounds
All right, so let's ask some of the random questions. And we'll go around and ask everybody this. What is the first album you ever bought for yourself?
I can't really remember. Could have been Green Day Dookie. I could say the first music I ever got obsessed with was my parents' Simon & Garfunkel cassette tape. Does that count?
That totally counts.
Okay.
One of the first CDs I bought with my own money was Pink Floyd's The Wall. And yeah, on CD. I think one of the first vinyls I got was actually Dark Side of the Moon and Rumors. I think I got those at the same time to start my collection.
Way to be cooler than everyone here.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, whoa, I don't know. Before we go that far, first CD I ever got was Hanson's Middle of Nowhere.
That's pretty cool.
And then I actually, but the before that, I was gifted the Monkees' Greatest Hits. And then as far as my own money, and I got it for myself, I think the first Rage Against the Machine album I bought in conjunction with the self-titled Sublime album. I think that that was it. So those 4.
That's pretty good. All right.
I don't remember the first CD that I bought with my own money, but one of the first CDs that I had in my possession was a Christmas present from my parents, and it was the soundtrack to La Bamba by that Lou Diamond Phillips movie about Richie Valens. So
That explains so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to get to know each other.
That's huge. Yeah.
Yep.
You guys get to know each other pretty well on tour, I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any fun tour stories?
We've all known each other for many years, and so the list goes on. But recently we played in Eugene not too long ago, and we were just staying one night, so no one really thought to bring any food. Not that it's never a bad idea to, but well, Ed, you can finish the story.
I brought a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, and they got a real kick out of it. I just know it's a good source of protein.
Let's just say it's really funny to see Ed or anyone be like, I brought these, and just pull out this huge bag of hard-boiled eggs, not in a cooler, just the bag, that's the huge, whatever, 10 by 10 or just a huge plastic bag of eggs. So no, I've seen eggs in that kind of presentation before, but never hard-boiled ones with the antenna, just eating on the fly. Just, all right, this is it. It's great. It's a really great, healthy snack. It's great, and they keep you full. Yeah.
When we go on tour again, I'm going to step it up a notch. And now I'm bringing hard-boiled eggs and some broccoli.
Way to keep everyone healthy.
Power foods.
Yeah.
Power foods.
Okay, so let's ignore Ed for a second. What would you guys bring on tour for snack?
Fruit, I would say definitely apples, bananas, definitely. Water, cheap beer, probably. Yeah. That's not much of a snack, but I like having as far as breakfast goes, I've become I don't really fill up a whole bunch in the beginning of the day. I like having eggs or fruit, something that isn't a gas station roll of powdered donuts or something like that, or just coffee, which is kind of where I fall into these days.
Just nutty bars. That's all I need.
It's a great snack.
Granola is probably a pretty good one because you don't need to keep it in a cooler and just hang that.
I'm making a mental list of all these things, and I'll get them together for us.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have learned the lesson of being on tour and getting all the junk food.
And the sources of protein and health.
Yeah,
See, I'm the guy with the eggs
so.
and the broccoli.
Yeah, we're moving on. We're putting the rough days behind us, snack-wise.
Right on.
Yeah.
Tell me about your latest album.
Our latest album is it's called 2020 Somethings, and it's 5 varying awesome songs, the best stuff we've ever done. We're really excited about it. Feels like it's been a long time that we've been putting it together, and I heard the final renders that have been sent off to getting mastered, and I just cannot wait till we get the masters back. It's going to be epic.
How do you think it compares to your previous album?
I think that we're taking a little more liberties as far as the types of songs we're playing, and maybe just not trying to fit into a mold songwriting-wise. There's so many times when we try to write a song and it's well, we need this to happen, and then after this we go here, and then you kind of have this layout of the song, or the pop song, or whatever kind of rock song you're trying to write. And this one, I feel like a lot of times we're just like, well, that's one thing, but it should be okay. It's not really always about putting emphasis on the crafting of the song themselves. I think this one we kind of just did what we wanted a little more, as opposed to I don't know what garage rock bands should be doing, or however you want to describe us. Whatever, yeah.
Okay, explain to me your songwriting process.
The good ideas stick, and the let's say the lesser ones, I wouldn't say that we ever forget about them, but it's always been like if we just can really actually run with something, and then we know, and we'll be like, this is probably worth our time to spend another 20-30 minutes working on, or longer. And then if it then from there doesn't always take shape, something in the back of our minds would be like, well, we should probably just remember this little guitar lick or something. And we found lately the best things are to just, if something spontaneously starts working and you can just say, okay, let's do that again, then just don't overthink it. And that's cool. And the rest will come if there needs to be a lot more, let's say. Yeah, it's really just if it feels right.
Yeah, because the last song that we played was actually a fairly new one that's like we wrote since I started practicing with you guys. So, and that was one of those real spontaneous things, and I don't know, kind of recorded parts of it, but just came back to it like once or twice, and then it was just done.
Yeah.
How do you know when it's really done?
You never really know when a song is done. You just kind of have to walk away from it. You guys worked with LT, right, on your last album? Yeah, I was actually in a band with him for a while, so I've worked with him before. And he just, if it's anything like what he does, it's just kind of you do it and then it's done, and you don't think about it. You move on to something else. So you can keep adding stuff on forever, but eventually you just have to find a time to stop.
Sure. Yeah, we'd like to shout out LT Page and
LT's awesome.
The Soul Sight crew and the LT Page and the Torch Toucher Recording Studios for helping us get this last one done.
Yeah, and we recorded it Hacienda Studios in my basement.
Yeah.
Is that where you check in on Facebook?
Hacienda Studios?
Yeah. No reason it can't be.
From here on out, it will be.
Just waking up, checking in.
Checking in here at the Hacienda.
Right on. All right, well, let's hear another song. What would you like to play next?
Okay, we actually are going to play another song. It's going to be, I hope it's okay if it's our last one, but it's going to be a little bit of a longer number.
Okay.
So,
just means we got to talk a whole lot more afterwards.
Yeah, we'd love to do that.
Right on.
So, yeah, the next one we have is called Same Old, and it kind of ties into our kind of band genesis idea. We can get more to that later, whatever.
All right, well, let's hear it.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah. We'll get to the music.
It doesn't sound too bad, because it ain't you.
love it, Georgie. What do we do?
Let's go out. Then we go up to the falls. It's beautiful there. Oh my. There's a green pool up there. We can swim. Then we can climb Mount Bedford and smell the pines and watch the sunrise against the peaks, and we'll stay up there the whole night. And everybody will be talking. There'll be a terrific
like the last bit there. Bringing us back to the yellow brick road.
That's right. Got a little sidetrack there.
That's okay.
Wandering through those woods where the eagles attack the monkeys.
Oh. All right. So talk to me about the last song you played.
Oh, it's called Same Same Old. And it's when I first joined the band, that was an early song we made, and it was like my favorite part of playing the sampler was that cool sample I play there in the middle. And that was like my favorite part about being in the band. It used to be. Now I've got new favorite things to hit. But yeah.
What's your new favorite button to push?
Besides it, Max's.
Yeah,
yeah,
pushing Max's
I like to push his
count.
buttons. Probably this Bob Dylan sample off the title track off our new one, 2020 something. Want to hear it?
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's a classic. I think this is it. You don't look back, fans.
Through the glass in the street. But who did it? Tell me you were there. You do it. You know who? All right. Hey, I don't care who did it. If you know who did it, you just better tell whoever did it to get out there and tell the cats to come up here and ask who did it. Tell them who it was. I'm not taking
It goes on for a while.
for cats I don't know, man. I got no responsibility with my friends and my own room.
It's basically Bob Dylan yelling at somebody at a party, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah, someone like broke a bottle at that hotel that they were partying at or something like that. And he
The
just flipped
audacity
out.
of that person.
Yeah.
He didn't even get invited. He just showed up.
Do you connect to it personally?
Yes.
I like
nature of the song. There is some kind of. Yeah. It's the song that it's in the beginning of that sample. The song that it starts is more or less about maybe some rather late evenings, early mornings, and it's called "Life of the Party." Just kidding. It's my friend's band song. But yeah, I don't know. That one's cool. I could say more about the first song, the song we just played, the last song that we played. Our band name loosely ties to the album, the novel "Sirens of Titan" by Kurt Vonnegut. And there's an alien at the end of the book that the main character meets, and he's from a far distant planet, and his name is, I always said, Salo. And so when our drummer at the time was burning Palo Santo sticks, me being me, I just like flip the letters of names and things around sometimes for my own amusement. And I just said Salo Panto. And at the time I was reading that book, and I said, hey, that kind of makes sense. And then it's definitely one of a few. We love it. It's one of our favorite books. I'd say maybe Jeff loves it too. He doesn't know he loves it yet if he doesn't. But yeah, he'd like it. But it's the lyric about taking the long way home is about in the book the main character is kind of kidnapped and taken to Mars to be kind of trained for an elite force that's going to be attacking the planet Earth, and it is in Vonnegut fashion hilariously underwhelming of an attack force, and he kind of is routed away from Earth before he gets to go back to it. He goes to the planet Mercury instead. It's such a great book, and it kind of sparked a lot of inspiration.
That's what the song's about?
Got all the creative juices flowing there.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's easily probably my favorite writer. I don't know. There's so many great. He's great, yeah.
I like seeing all the head bobs from your bandmates here. Everyone a Vonnegut fan in the band.
We're out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you guys share books? Like pass them around and be like, hey, you should read this.
Yeah. Definitely.
From time to time. I'm going to get better about this whole talking to the microphone thing, I swear.
Edwin for sure likes to share books.
What was the last book you shared with the band, Ed?
Well, I know I'm about to share a book. As soon as I finish Lincoln and the Bardo by George Saunders.
Ooh, I like George Saunders a lot.
I know you had your eye on it. I'm almost done with it. You'll have it
right
in a few
on.
days.
I'm into it.
Yeah, it's really sweet.
I've got a book that someone wanted to borrow, but it's just coming apart. So I'd just be like, I'm sorry, you're just going to be better off not. It's just, I've treated it so poorly. Under the Banner of Heaven.
Ooh, excellent.
It's just
Krakauer.
It can't be done. It's just you need to just
tape it,
tape
man.
and glue. I don't know. It's just
it looks red, which is awesome.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of when you let someone borrow a book, not expecting to get it back. I think that's kind of an understatement. I think that's kind of just goes without saying sometimes. And then I got friends that'll be like, book call, where's all my books? You know, on Facebook, they're like, I'm looking for 32 books. I know I had them at one point. You know?
Not sure where they're at, you know who you are.
Yeah.
They weren't properly signed
You
out.
can't expect to get a book back.
I like to do book exchanges with somebody. So you take a book
Yeah.
off them, and then you give them a book, and then...
You're more likely to get your book back that way.
Or you can keep their
Well,
book.
and you've at
Can't
least
lose.
still got a book. You're not down a book.
Very true.
You don't have an empty spot on your shelf, you know. People come in, what happened there?
How much time of band practice is talking about books?
Way less than you think.
We're really not the
Not sure how we got
intellectuals
started
that
on
we're
it.
coming off as
Yeah.
in this
Yeah, we
interview.
don't...
Way less.
This train of questioning is going really well, actually.
Yeah.
It's making us sound a lot smarter than we are.
Way less.
Pretty classy.
Yeah.
It's more just like Eddie Murphy gifs and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So we're not even conversing. We're
Yeah.
just texting each other.
You
At
text each other from
rehearsal.
across the room.
Sometimes, yeah.
Happened. It's probably-
They're not talking. Yeah.
yeah.
So tell me what band practice is actually like.
Well, I mean, lately it's just been like trying to learn all these songs for me personally, because we can only get together, I don't know, once or twice a week maybe. I'm in like a few other bands too, so I'm like trying to learn a bunch of stuff at the same time. So mostly it's just like going through the same songs over and over and over again, and also trying not to go deaf.
Yeah.
They've also they've been probably their most focused, like since Jeff joined the band, because it's kind of like, okay, we got to learn these songs.
Yeah, we have to learn them.
gotta
Yeah, we can't mess around here.
playing on the radio soon here. So
Edwin might have what's practice like for you, Ed?
Loud. Basically, we're in this we're in a small little practice room, and you know, these guys turn up and they get really loud, and I just try to hear my sampler and not go deaf. I'm gonna start wearing earplugs.
Smart.
As far as sampling is concerned, a lot of times the song comes first before the sample. It would be so cool to hear a really cool sample or like dialogue part of some movie and be like, oh, I found this great guitar lick for that.
Yeah, it doesn't work
But it
that
just
way though.
doesn't-
wait a second.
It just doesn't happen that way. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say standing around, but there's a lot of listening for it.
When they're like learning a new song, you know, it's best I just hang back and let them learn it. You know, they are the meat and potatoes of Salo Panto. I am merely the gravy,
The garnish.
the garnish,
What are they? What is it?
like
parsley.
Parsley.
Yeah.
Parsley. It's
not cilantro.
Thank
Depends on
you.
what the dish is.
Cilantro tastes like soap. Come on.
That's see. I don't think it tastes like soap. I just think it tastes like bad, and it's a little rude. You know, it's got to be so in your face all the time. Cilantro.
I've gained new ground with cilantro. I think with the right thing, it's excellent. The right mix. Banh mi's that's like a cilantro-based sandwich.
I'm a
I
huge
know.
fan.
You got to have
personally.
cilantro on that.
Oh yeah.
It's like my least favorite part of the banh mi. Because of course, what flavor do you taste first? Cilantro.
Wow.
I have this vision now of this is your guys' banter during band practice.
Oh yeah.
This cilantro conversation is much more our band practice
You've
than
managed to
talking
really-
literature.
It's really calmed our nerves with all the cameras and lights around. Just finding less important things to talk about. We can play if you'd like. We can just play a little bit more. If unless you have more you'd like to talk about, we can just go at
You
it.
know, it is totally what you guys are comfortable with. We have time for another song if you'd like to play another song.
We can do that.
Maybe something off the new album,
Oh well. Yes.
if you feel prepared.
Anything else off the new album?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I like the knowing face, and the bandmates are all blank faces. Like, what are you going?
Which song did we teach him?
What are we thinking about, Joe?
All right. Let's go with this one.
was called No Soap in the Dispensers Upstairs.
Woo, thank you for sharing that. All right, we got about 4 minutes left.
Okay.
So let's plug once again where people can find your music.
Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, and SoundCloud and Bandcamp.
Yeah.
SoundCloud and Bandcamp. And it's pretty cool because we're the only Salo Panto. So if you type our name into the great Google, we're the only thing you'll find. And you'll
Pretty
find
sure
all
we
our
are
things.
The world's only Salo Panto.
Currently.
All right, spell it for everyone.
SALO, 2 words, SALOPANTO.
And that's not to say that we're saying it right, because it's definitely not Palo Santo. But I'm from Ohio. We are from Ohio.
Hard A's.
Hard A's. So I was this one time. This girl I was seeing, she told me, I said, she's like, man, it's cold, and I said, it's not warm, and she was like, warm? You say that weird. And I was like, how am I supposed to say it? Well, she's like, well, it's warm. And I was like, well, I'm saying, well, it's warm. Well, it's arm with a W or war with an M, right? So there's 2 words. I'm kind of like emphasizing the wrong one. So that's why Salo Panto is. That's why I say it like that.
Yeah.
It's a geographical disposition.
I actually call it an orm. So, I mean,
An orm.
Geographical disposition. Future Salo Panto album title.
I was just going to say that. You took the words out of my mouth.
Well,
Thank you so much for having us, Rachelle.
this
thank
has
you
been
guys for being
Thank you,
a lot of
thank
fun.
you, gang, guys. Appreciate it, gals.
Can you do a quick station drop? This is Salo Panto and you're listening to KPSU.
This is Salo Panto, and you're listening to KPSU.
Thank you guys.
Woo!
And just a quick reminder, you can see these guys playing at Dante's.
Dante's on West Burnside the night of March 3rd. And we're appearing with the English Language and Black Fruit, 2 awesome bands. So it's going to be a great night.
Great. Anything else you guys wanted to mention before you take off?
We would love to come do this again sometime. It's a
Yeah,
lot
I'd love
of
to do
fun.
this again.
great.
And
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
people
And-
should walk more and eat broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And of course, I do have to thank our sponsor, Sesame Donuts and Fender. Thank you for supporting KPSU. And thank you to Portland State Professional Sound for all that you do. You guys are amazing. And Portland State Television for getting us up on the YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Awesome. We did it.